Okay, disclaimer, just everyone's seen this map, so just to remind you, Mora, it's located about 150 kilometres north-northeast of Perth, so it's about a 2-hour drive from where we're standing, and in the days of COVID-19, there's nothing like having a project in your own backyard to be an advantage. So it means we don't have any issues working on the project at all. Since the Chalice's discovery of the Julimar deposit just over 12 months ago, this area has become probably one of the hottest exploration regions, not only in Australia, but in the world. I mean, before 2 years ago, it was basically largely ignored. The Chalice come along and make a world-class discovery. And this slide here is just an attempt to show you the main players in the region, the areas they've got covered and their market caps. And you can see there, once you get past, or you can see Tim Goyder owns about 95% of the region, from what I can tell. But you can see there after Chalice, Liontown is the second biggest landholder in the area. And the other significant thing in this slide is you can see the market caps of those companies there, and you can see there's a fair bit of value assigned to these companies. And I acknowledge that they've all got other projects, but I would guess that most of the values these companies are seeing are based on the activities they're doing in this area. And that will become important when I show a slide in a couple of reasons for the rationale behind why we're looking at doing the demerger. Okay, so where are we at? Well, today the board signed off on the idea of looking into or moving forward with the demerger, subject to getting all the regulatory approvals that we need to actually go ahead with that demerger. We've identified our key advisors and we'll be appointing those tomorrow to get stuck into the project. The demerger does require Liontown shareholder approval, and that will be on the basis of all Liontown shareholders will receive an in-specie distribution of shares in the new company proportionate to their current holding in the company. And we're looking at post-IPO that the current Liontown shareholders will own 70 to 80% of the new company. So we're looking to float or spin off about 20% of the new company. And we're targeting to have all this done by the fourth quarter of 2021. So why are we doing the demerger? Well, I showed you that slide before and the market caps of the companies active in the area. We don't think that we're seeing the same sort of valuation applied to Liontown's holding of all the Mora and Cujon projects. And it's a good reason why not. We've got the Kathleen Valley project, which is the company's prime and focus, and it should be. But that's where most of the value is for Liontown, I believe, and we're not seeing the value of Mora reflected in the company's price. But our initial results have been very, very encouraging, and I think we've confirmed that there is potential for an economic discovery on Liontown's shareholding, Liontown's land position there, and it does warrant a very aggressive, well-financed, well-resourced exploration project going forward. And we're seeing results from other explorers. You've seen what's happened to Caspian in recent weeks. Pursuit Minerals came up with some very good results the other day. So it's not just us and Chalice, other companies in the area are demonstrating the potential of the region and that it deserves a very thorough exploration program. And as I mentioned before, we've got 1,000 square kilometres, some of it's in joint venture with Lachlan Star, and the guys from Lachlan Star are here tonight. And we're located, just like Kathleen Valley, we're in one of the best mining jurisdictions in the world. And with the Liontown's backing, we've got the team to form the core of a brand new company, and Tim can never have too many companies apparently, so looking forward to getting that in. Okay, so moving on to the projects, or the area. We've identified 3 prospective trends on the land position we have there. There's a Julimar trend, which is in the west, and it's basically the extension of the magnetic trend that hosts the Julimar discovery, Caspian's Yarrawinda. I don't know if you call it a discovery yet, but certainly it's a very interesting project. And that trends up into the western part of the Cujon joint venture that we have with Lachlan Star. On our 100% ground, very early on, we identified the Mount Ewell corridor. That's where most of our work's been done to date, and some of the results we've been getting there have been fantastic. And further to the east, on the Bindi nickel trend, we have some good results there as well. And that was identified by Poseidon Nickel way back in 1968. Just before they went off and discovered nickel in Laverton and kicked off the nickel boom, for those old enough to remember that. So most of our focus has been at Mount Ewell on our 100% ground. And the Mount Ewell prospect, it's defined by a very large magnetic feature. It's 7 kilometres long, it's 2.5 kilometres north-south. And we interpret this to be largely caused by a mafic, ultramafic intrusion, or similar sort of rocks to what Chalices have down at Julimar. We've done one drilling program. We only started exploring here last year, so that's very new. We've done one drilling program. We've defined multiple zones of mineralisation associated with this magnetic feature, including the Angiopenna zone, where the first RC hole intersected 43 metres of 1.7 grams per tonne gold. So, it's a good intersection in any terms. So just moving on to the Angiopenna prospect, it hasn't had a lot of drill holes into it. It's 900 metres long, it's open. We've drilled one RC hole beneath a strong geochemical anomaly, 43 metres of 1.7 grams per tonne gold, including a nice high-grade core of 18 metres of 3.9. 300 metres to the northwest, we've got a hole, very shallow hole up there with 11 metres of 1.5 grams per tonne. That's completely open to the northwest. And down in the south, we think we've just clipped a zone with another RC hole. So obviously we're looking forward to getting back in and getting stuck into this prospect. The northern part of the Mount Ewell area, we have what we imaginatively call the northern zone. It's plus 2 kilometres long. It has anomalous copper and gold. In the eastern 1 kilometre, eastern half of that prospect, we've intersected multiple ore grade intersections over 1 kilometre of strike, and they're completely open. And this is just an example. So the 12th air core hole we drilled into this prospect, we intersected 9 metres of 2% copper at the bottom of the hole. We did drill underneath that, but unfortunately we intersected a barren dolerite dike, which we didn't get the down dip extension of that. But downhole geophysics has defined an off-hole conductor, which we think may well be the primary mineralisation associated with that copper mineralisation. And then 600 metres to the east, we've got another drill section, and you can see there we're getting 7 metres of a gram gold and 0.5% copper, and another zone with up to 2 metres of 3.6 grams per tonne gold. Most of the drilling that we have done at Moora today has just been air core drilling. Basically, it's drilling the oxidised material. We haven't got into the fresh bared rock, and we've only drilled 14 RC holes. So what we're going to do here is come back, use deeper drilling to target the primary zones of mineralisation. But it's a big system, there's a lot of smoke, we just have to find the fire now. Okay, and we've just picked up, earlier this year, we reached agreement with Lachlan Stars to farm in on their Cujon Project, which abuts the western boundary of the Moora project, so it's hard up against what we have there. We've completed first pass auger sampling on the Cujon ground, and that's exactly what we did at Moora. We went out there with an auger rig and took a whole bunch of samples, which led on to the drilling program. We've defined a number of geochemical anomalies. The best ones are we've got a very strong PG anomaly up in the northwest corner of the project, and we've got a strong gold anomaly down in the southwest corner of the project. We're currently back there doing infill sampling, so we've got about another 2,000 samples going into the lab, and we're looking forward to getting those results probably within the next month. But again, it hasn't taken a whole lot of hard work to actually define some very encouraging exploration results on this project. So what are you going to do going forward? Well, once we list, there's a theory that we'll get stuck into Angiopenna. We've got to do more RC and diamond drilling just to really scope out the mineralised trend, just to make sure we know which way we're drilling. Once we've done that, we'll hopefully go straight into resource definition and then resource estimation and onwards and upwards with metallurgy. So hopefully there'll be another resource coming along for the Liontown shareholders, albeit through another company in the not too distant future. And then we have the greater Moora Cujon JV area. We've got multiple drill targets that we have to follow up. Obviously, we're looking forward to doing that. We've got to prioritise and define other drill targets, and we now have a lot of data to do that. And then we'll just get back in and start the first pass drilling again and hopefully make more discoveries. So why the new company? Well, we're in an emerging, very prospective mineral province. We have a very large land position at around 1,000 square k's, albeit some of it in JV with Lachlan Star, with knowledge. We have first mover advantage. I mean, I'm staggered that after 40 years in this business that we're now going out to parts of Australia and doing the first phases of exploration. I thought we'd done it all, to be honest with you. And here we are doing the first. We're still doing geochemistry and stuff like that, so it is staggering we can do this. Our early drilling has been very successful. We have multiple targets to follow up. Again, we're in one of the best mining jurisdictions in the world. The infrastructure is fantastic. We've got roads, we've got everything we need. And the company will be backed by a very successful mineral explorer and hopefully developer with Liontown resources. And that's it. Thank you very much.